Hi, welcome to the Enchanted Circle Healer. I'm Katie Schlegel. I just finished recording a video and I was taking a shower and kind of just getting all clean, how you do. And Spirit was like, all right, time for the next one. I was like, but I don't want to get all ready and I don't want to put makeup on. Like, I'm done for the day. And Spirit's like, then don't put makeup on. Just go raw. I was like, so you want me to do a raw reading? And they're like, yeah, we do. Yeah, that's pretty much how I talk to my spirit guides. And they are very funny. They come through like kind of like quirky, funny, which is who I am too. I'm very quirky and silly and all the things. So here I am in the raw, in the real, no makeup, low lighting, because I am a low lighting person. I don't like a lot of bright light. So yeah, and I was just thinking as I was just like, you know how they tell you like how they people out in like successful businesses and CEOs and all the stuff like dress for success or dress for the job that you want, that type of thing. I have always like I want to be in the barn. I want to be like horsehair all over me, dirty. Just have like earth on me. I want to be in like joggers, and like a t-shirt with that side, like that scoops on the side. Like I don't want to be fancy. And there was a time where if you look through anything about Katie Schlegel online, you'll find like pictures where I'm just like all dolled up and makeup and lipstick, which was absolutely fine during that time period because I had an e-commerce store and I had something where I felt like I wanted to put my best foot forward in the way I looked and everything. But I have totally shifted, and maybe that is something where you're feeling like you've shifted as well, and you are just you're showing up in the world a little bit more real, a little bit more raw, and it just feels so much better. Like I for the longest time I felt like I remember there was a time in my 20s where I just could not feel like I could go anywhere without mascara. And like I'm fair. I have blonde hair, natural blonde and fair skin, and you cannot see my eyelashes. And so I always like felt like I just needed to have mascara on. I needed to have something on. I had acne growing up and throughout my 20s, early 30s, and just had terrible skin. And I have scars from that. And so it's just like, it is something that has always, like, I would never, never do this. As you can tell, like, I have a, like, red undertone and I'm sitting on a, like, pink blanket. So it's like, oh man, how far I've come. And I just felt like that kind of needed to be called out. And maybe that's something that you are feeling too, where you're just like, man, I am feeling so much more comfortable in my own skin and being natural and being raw and just loving it so much more, where you don't feel like you have to like put on this mask per se of putting yourself out there. I don't know. That was not intended message, but maybe someone needed to hear that today. So, okay. So I've been kind of not wanting to do a card reading just because there are so many card readings, or at least like when I start to watch things on YouTube or Instagram or anywhere, it's like the algorithm starts to like populate and I just get so many card readings. And so I've like it's card readings, oracle cards especially, have been something that I have used throughout this journey of understanding what I'm supposed to be doing, of where I'm going, of getting clarity, of asking questions with my guides. And I have kind of just been more lately watching other people's card readings and getting clarity that way. And there has been some times where I'm just like, man, that's exactly what I needed to hear right now. And I am so very grateful for that message. And I'm so grateful for those readers, those channelers and intuitives, like stepping up to the plate and doing what they're doing, because I needed to get a little quick, swift kick in the pants to get me back on in alignment, or it just is something that was super encouraging and lifted me up. So I was like, all right, fine. I will do some readings because it has helped me so much in doing my own stuff for my own self, and also being on the receiving end of those messages. So, okay, without further ado, I will stop talking because I could talk your ear off, for sure. So today, this has been a deck that I've been using over this past year. It's Rebecca Campbell's, and it's the Ancient Stones Oracle. And you know me, if you are new to this channel, or if you've been here for a little bit, you know that I am super connected to Mother Earth, and stones and trees, mountains. Nature is like my jam. Obviously, if I would rather be in a barn mucking out a stall with a horse, I would be doing that. So it's just like anything that can get me out in nature and being around nature, animals, anything like that, I just have been gravitating towards. And so this oracle deck has been so amazing because it's the ancient stones, and they're just beautiful cards that are coming through too. So the artwork by Katie Louise, I think is how you say it, is gorgeous too. So I am just going to be doing just a little reading and seeing what comes through the deck, and seeing what Spirit has to say to you today. And I will just channel the messages that come through. And if you have been watching other readers, you probably understand, you know the drill. So I'll just keep, sometimes if things don't flip out and the way that I do things, I'll do a little drop method into my lap and basically pick the card on top. But if it takes too long for cards to kind of flip out or anything like that, the way that I shuffle, sometimes it doesn't. So we're gonna go with the drop method if that's the case. So let me just tap them real quick and just get centered. And I always like to just call in my ancestors, I call in my guides, my angels, my star ancestors and grandmothers and great-grandmothers. Please lead me, please guide me, please show me the way. I'm too flipped out there. So I'm just going to pull a few and see what the message starts to form. So Spirit, what is it that you want this community to hear today? what guidance needs to come through in this moment to give them the peace that they're missing, the information that they need, and any guidance at this time. Okay, so I'm hearing that's it for right now. Read the cards and then move along. All right. So, interesting. Okay. So the first one is scrying. And on the card itself, it says, trust your visions, intuitions, plant seeds. So, okay, let me just kind of read through the cards and then I'll tell you what I'm getting from Spirit. The next one is the cave that flipped out. It says retreat, time out, self-care, slow down. Now, as I'm reading these cards and you're seeing the images, I want you to kind of tap into your intuition. I'm going to tap into my intuition and what my guides are saying. My guides connect with your guides, with your angels, to bring through the messages. And lots of times I will burp as a confirmation of that is like the truth, or that is what needed to be said, type of thing. So I want you to first do it a little differently, maybe than what other readers do. I want you to tap into your intuition of what these cards are saying to you. What's the message that's coming through from your spirit guides, from your intuition? All right. Okay, the next one. I love this one. The road is clear. It says, you know what to do. Walk it your way. The road is clear. You know what to do. And you walk it your way. This is, I think, what, just a little interpretation from me. This is what my spirit guides are like. You know what to do, Katie. You're walking it your way. You're doing it your own way. Have them figure out what the messages are that are coming through. Because the main thing that I've been being told and guided right now to do and to focus, like this healing work that I'm doing and purpose work that I'm doing, is to help people tap into their intuition. And I'm even being guided to help children tap into their intuition, because that's when it's at its strongest. And we often poo-poo it. We often stuff it down or don't listen to children when they can be the most amazing truth sayers, because they're still connected to their intuition. They're still connected to spirit. They're still connected to that other side. So anyways, that's just a little side note for you. And then this next one is the records. And it's remember why you came. Be bold. Legacy. So with everything in these readings, oftentimes it is I who receive messages for myself and my own path as well. So I try to decipher between that for you, like what is coming in and what I'm speaking for my own truth and my own understanding versus what's coming through for spirit. And I like to have those checkpoints of listening to my spirit guides, checking in with my heart, checking in with my intuition. So I like to have 3 different checkpoints that I go through to make sure that these messages are not just kind of ego based, or I'm not just kind of pulling them out of my arse, So, okay, so I just want to, those are the 4 cards that came through. I feel like now that those came through, let me see if there's any clarifying ones that want to pop up. Okay, that's too many cards though. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, sometimes I'm like, okay, guys, that's a lot. Sometimes I'll take them, but if they're like 6 or 8, I'm like, okay, that's too many. I can't decipher the message from that. But sometimes the card that was on top comes back up. So, and then I know for sure that that was something that needed to come through. Oop. Okay, so that one. Okay, anything else that you want to clarify, Spirit, for these messages that they are to tap into their intuition and decipher, as well as what their spirit guides are bringing forth? I feel like that one wants to come up. Okay. Oof, this is like a hard one. Not really, but I just feel like I've been in this state for a very long time, so maybe you can relate. Okay, so the last 2 cards that came through, one is the stepping stones. Take the next step, simplicity and focus. And then the last one, the entrance stone. New beginnings. Let's see, it says new beginnings, step forward, expansion. This is the one that I was like, oh gosh. Just because I just feel like every reading that I've watched lately is all, you're in a new beginning. You're in a new beginning. You're in a transformation time. You're in transition. And I'm just like, I know I'm in a new beginning. Like, can you like stop? I get it, Spirit. I get it. I'm in a new beginning. Like, what do you want me to do in order to get out of the new beginning and into into like a little bit more of a like stable and secure ground? Oh man. But often when I started this journey, let's give you a little bit of background before I read more into these. When I started this journey, truly trusting and taking leaps of faith, last summer, it was in June last summer, so it's been a year. I took a leap of faith to basically like pick up my life and go to Taos, New Mexico, because that's where I felt like I needed to move to from San Diego. My whole family's here in San Diego. And I just felt like that I needed a change and I needed to do something. And so for 2 months, I wanted to try it out and see what came of it. Fell in love with the place and absolutely going to move there. Take note, going to move there. So I have yet to move there. And that started the journey. I was like, all right, I'm gonna trust. I'm really going to follow this intuition, this thing that I keep on telling people to go after and to connect with and get in tune with. Like, I need to practice what I preach. So Katie, let's do it. Like, if you're gonna do it, let's do it. And like, do it. We're not gonna half-ass it. Excuse me. We're not gonna half do it. We're gonna do it full out and in the raw, in the real, right? So I did, and I went to Taos for 2 months, and I was expecting everything to kind of fall into place, and I would meet my man, and I would do like move into a new house and all the things, and finances would be like beautifully like blossomed, and all the things would come into place. My business would just like take off and whatever, all the things. Well, pretty much the opposite happened, and I was led to go to Knoxville. I had a friend there that was getting stuff in her house renovated and refinance, and she needed organization, which is something that I do as well. I organize and clear spaces and stuff, and she had two dogs, two little Shih Tzus, which is my favorite breed. I love Shih Tzus. And so, and it was somewhere where I could make some money, and she had a room that I could stay in and all the things, because things were not working for my business. Actually, I was kind of losing business. I was losing clients. I did some social media and email marketing for small businesses for a while because I had a small business of my own, and built that up, and then it kind of came down and started just decreasing with like 1 month after the next of clients not renewing and not wanting services anymore and anything like that. So I was in a transition, though, and a pivot in my own business of trying to incorporate my e-commerce store with my with this new like spiritual intuition and travel, and it just wasn't meshing, and things weren't kind of working. I was trying to incorporate healing into it, and I felt like I was really pushing hard for it to all fit. And so that opportunity came up, and I literally felt like I was the alchemist in that journey of like going far, far away from what I was thinking was was the plan. But I just trusted. I had to tap into my intuition, and I had to trust and take the next step. And that was the next right step to take. And I would constantly check in with my intuition and constantly like just talk what my mentor would always say, Echo Bodine, which if you're looking for an intuition person, she is amazing. And but she'd always say, talk to your tummy, which is what her mom would used to say. And so it's like, again, tapping into that childlike wonder, which is the video that I just finished recording. I talked about that, and like connecting with your intuition, because we were always meant to have this intuition in this lifetime and while we're here, and that is something intuitively grained within us, and we have just kind of been disconnected with it. And so again, I was just pushed to say, okay, let's like follow my intuition saying go to Knoxville. So and if you're wondering what intuition, I'll just briefly, intuition is very neutral. It's a very neutral feeling. It doesn't speak very loudly. It's more soft, and it doesn't say a lot of words. Now, my intuition at times has, since it's been getting stronger and since I've trusted and putting my trust in it more and more every single day, it's starting to say a little bit more. But oftentimes it's like, should I go to Knoxville? And it says yes. I'm like, okay, can you give me anything else? And it doesn't give me anything else. So I had it literally when I started to do this path and trust the vision that I've been given and the intuition, I started to just gradually like open up, and it felt like it's like as soon as I said, yes, I will trust this, all of the known shrunk and became very unknown. Like everything outside of me became very unknown. So I was losing clients. I was being told to like let go of one or two clients, and I was like, where's my money gonna come from? Then the Knoxville happened, and I was like, okay, so that will be an interim, not exactly like my strong gifts, but I do clear and organize, and that's one of the things I do love to do. So, okay. And I love pups, and I love Shih Tzus, and I love these two dogs. So, great. Um, but that's really like all I had to go on. And so I was like, all right, well, sweet. So I'm going to drive to Knoxville from Taos, New Mexico, a place that I'm like, this is my home. I don't want to leave this, which was really hard. But things were not unfolding there. Things were unfolding in Knoxville. So I went to Knoxville. I was thinking I'd stay in Knoxville for 2 months and then go back to Taos by like November. And that did not happen. I ended up just like every 2 months or 6 weeks, it felt like I was given a little bit more of the path, like that next step. And every time I would ask my intuition and tap into it, it would be like, stay, pause, wait, wait, wait. And it told me to wait for 7 months. So I stayed in Knoxville, and I missed, like, it was the first like Christmas without my family, which was huge because my mom was a big part of the family celebration of Christmas, and I would always decorate and try to make the house really like Christmassy for like my dad. And so it was like the hardest thing now there was other things with family that was happening that I knew that I needed to be away from to be able to have them be able to do some things for themselves and that their relationships. And so I was being told wait on my end, and I was being told like stay here and have the distance, create the distance. So that's what I did, and I spent. My friend was amazing and so hospitable, and she was thrilled that I was going to stay for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I stayed into the new year as well, and so on and so forth. And so I ended up actually going back to Taos at the end of March this year, 2025. So like almost a year later. And again, I was thinking I was going to be doing this. Sorry, this is becoming more and more. But I feel like this is the story that needed to come through with these cards. So bear with me. I was just feeling like I needed to get back to Taos in some way, shape, or form. And I was able to connect with pet sitting. I did trusted house sitters. I was on Rover. And it just kind of started like piecing together. There was going to be like this long sit that I was going to go to for like 6 weeks, and it was going to be with horses, and I was so excited, but it fell through. Kind of last minute, and so I was scrambling to kind of like figure out and piece things together. Now, honestly, my guides and my angels pieced it together, and I took the action steps to do it and to move forward. But I was like, I was in Taos, like I was in one part of Taos for like 17 days. Then I went down to Santa Fe for like 10 days. Then I came back to Taos in another part area and pet sat for like 2 cats for like I think it was another 17 days. And then in between there, I had like a little dog sit. And then I came back to that house sit and put the cat sit and did another little stint. Then I went up to Durango, Colorado for like another like 16 days or whatever. And then I came back to Taos for like 5 days. And then, and it was like literally from sit to sit. I had to just keep on trusting that things were gonna like come and fall into place. And as soon as I was in Durango, Colorado, I checked in, and all I heard was go home. And so I was like, okay. Because I was exhausted of trying to like navigate that. You're in like a new place, a new home, you're dog sitting, you're cat sitting, you're trying to figure out where the trash can is, what's the bathroom. You wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, where am I? Whose house am I in? What bed am I sleeping in? Blah, blah, blah. Like all the things. It was just like, it was exhausting, but it was a true, and it was for 12 weeks. So I'm like three months. It was a true testament of trusting my intuition and taking leap after leap of faith after leap of faith after leap of faith. And all throughout this time was like, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do this? And I'm still in that position of like not sure how everything's going to get paid. But I have come to a place in my life finally of being at peace when it comes to finances and being provided for and supported. And all I keep on hearing is, it's okay. Everything is going to be taken care of. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. And this is not how I operate. I'm very much a planner, and if I'm not able, like if I'm not doing work on my own, I will go out and find work and do whatever I can, however I can to do it, like all the things. And I just was kept on being told, don't worry about it. Don't get a 9-to-5 job. Don't go back into that, because it's been a long time. It's been since 2016 since I have done like a 9-to-5 and worked for someone else. And so, but it's been a struggle, and I've had to heal a lot of ancestral, like going back decades of money blocks, money hindrances, money, all the things that have to do with money. And I've had to heal it on both sides of my family, so my mom's side and my dad's side. So this has been generational, like finance stuff that I inherited essentially once I decided to come here to Earth and be in this farm and with this family. And no wonder I am an Aries, a Sagittarius, Aries sun, Sagittarius rising, and Leo moon. I have so much freaking fire in my chart that I'm just like, I needed it apparently, because I needed to burn through some like karma. And burn through this like ancestral generational stuff. And I have broken so many of those. It's done. Like, and so now it's like this interim time. I've broken the generational, the curses, all the things that and I've healed that relationship with money on both sides of my family, my dad's side and my mom's side. And now it's like this interim part of like pausing again and letting everything integrate into where it needs to go, where it needs to fall into place. And I'm in this kind of peaceful pause. And if this was like a year ago, there's no way that I would have been able to handle this. And so this like whole time, this whole year of trusting my intuition, literally like almost like day by day. Well, it was definitely day by day, but these little tiny like parts at a time, where it was like 6 weeks. I was given 6 weeks of what was going to happen, and I knew I had what I was going to do with it in those 6 weeks. Or I was given 2 months of knowing what was going to happen, and then after 2 months I didn't know what was going to where I was going to do, what I was going to be, all the things. And I just had to continue to trust and trust and trust Take leap of faith, take a leap of faith and trust. And I'm at this point in this journey where I am trusting and taking more leaps of faith, but I am in this amazing, I have this amazing sense of peace with this part. And I would not have been able to do that or be in this place without everything that had already occurred. Everything built up on top of each other, and I have this beautiful foundation now that is so strong. Things were taken away. I had to let go of my e-commerce business. I had to let go of my podcast that I was doing. I had to let go of my understanding of what I thought my vision was. And I let go of these things, and new things started to come in. And so now I'm in this trusting of like, okay, you've given me this big, huge vision, and I don't know how I'm going to do this because I don't have the funding, but I'm trusting. And so I keep on putting it out there, and I keep on leaning into the discomfort and leaning into the unknown. And I don't know why I'm going so heavily on my story this past year, but maybe someone needed to hear this and be encouraged in some sort of way. And I feel like the cards kind of spoke for themselves. But what I'm receiving from Spirit, and why I had to tell my whole story about my intuition and trusting it, was this is what you need to do as well. You need to start trusting your intuition. If you don't know how to do that, you can comment below and I can help you however that is. I'm not quite sure how to even relay that information. Besides just encouraging you to continually turning and going within and listening and being quiet and listening. The one way that I began to really lean on my intuition and start to trust it was I would go on walks and I would listen, and it was simple instructions like cross the street. So I'd cross the street. There was never usually anything that was there for me, like, aha, like this is why it wanted me to cross the street. It was a simple act of listening and acting. Listening and acting. Listening and acting. So that's how it began. So for me, so if that's something that you have been wanting to trust more of your intuition, and listen, like this intuition journey started because my mom, I kept on telling her to listen to her intuition when she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And I didn't really understand what that even meant, to be honest. Like what does your gut say? Or like, what's the first thing that pops in your head? But I think I started to get those like kind of nudges from Spirit, like you need to like encourage your mom to listen to her intuition with this, and it helped. And I don't know how she tapped into it. I was just there to hold her hand through that whole process and through that journey, and be a guide, but not walk in front of her, but beside her, right with her. And so I feel like that is why I am putting out these videos, and I am doing these healings, and while I'm being, I guess, so forthcoming about talking about myself and my journey is because I'm not here to guide you. I'm here to hold your hand and walk beside you in this journey of listening to your intuition and coming back to who you always were, who you've always been. So trust your visions, trust your intuition. Start small. Take little tiny steps, the stepping stones. Focus on simplicity. And when in doubt, retreat to your cave within. Take a time out. Take a deep breath. Focus on your self-care. Slow down. You don't have to worry because the road is clear. All signs point ahead. You know what to do. Your intuition knows what to do. And you know how to walk it your way. So walk it your way. And it's time to remember why you came here. You have a legacy. And I'm getting chills as I'm saying that. You have a legacy to build, to create. And it's time to be bold. It's time. So step forward into this new beginning, into this expansion of legacy that you came here to create. Only you know what your vision is. Only you can hear your intuition. You got this. You do. I absolutely believe 100%. If you're watching this video and you came here to listen to everything that I just said and everything I talked about, and you're still here at the end of this video, you have a vision. You've been given a vision. And I'm here to walk beside you and hold your hand and be your guide side by side. All right? So if you're here and you're still listening to this, because it's a long video, I know, give me a little puppy emoji in the comments and let me know that you are here. Little puppy emoji. All right? Okay. You got this. I'm sending you so much love. Trust your vision. Be bold. Know that you're here to create a legacy. The road is clear. Walk it your way, okay? When you get overwhelmed, retreat, step back, take a breath, do some self-care, all right? This is a formula, okay? I was just told that this is a formula. Okay, let me break this down. Sorry, a little bit longer. Oh boy, we're at 50 or 43 minutes. Okay. All right. So this is good because Spirit, I love formulas and I love things that can kind of create this equation of how to do it. All right. So first things first, you got to trust your visions. That's the first part of it. And your intuition. Trust the visions that you've been given and your intuition. When you feel overwhelmed and you're not quite sure what your intuition is saying or you can't quite tap into it, You need to retreat, go within, take a time out, put yourself in timeout chair, and do some self-care. Take a shower, put on a face mask, go for a walk. You need to slow down, all right? Don't get overwhelmed. Don't push through the overwhelmed feelings, okay? You need to slow down. Our society wants us to push through things, but it really is what you need to do is slow down. So that's the second part. Step 2. Step 3, that will bring you back into knowing what to do. I love it when Spirit does this stuff. I love formulas. They know I love it. I'm such a geek this way. Okay. That will bring you to step 3, where it brings you back to knowing what to do. And you know how to walk it. You know how to walk it your way. So walk it your way. Do it your way. All right? And then step 4 is simply remembering why you came. Being connected back to that legacy that you know, that vision that you've been given. All right? And being reminded to be bold. You got this. Step 5, take the next step. A little step, simple. Focus on just taking the next step. Don't look 500,000 feet in front of you. You can't see the path, all right? Just look down at your next step and take that next step. Because this next step is going to bring you to these new beginnings. And you need to step forward in order to receive that expansion. And that is step 6. All right? It's amazing. I love it. Oh my goodness. I love it when Spirit gives me little formulas. It just kind of breaks things down to be able to easily digest. And I think that is what has helped me so much, is like these cards, these oracles are so helpful in understanding if you're in the mindset of being able to be receptive and receive the message. They have the ability to speak through pictures or words or whatever it is and give you formulas for life. So this is the formula for your next beginning, your new beginning, your next step. Walk it your way. You got this. All right. Sending you so much love. Mwah. Oh, so much love. Thank you so much for watching this video, sticking around with me to right now to the end. I am so appreciative of your support and just listening to me ramble and my voice and watch me. I hope that it is something that affirms, this message affirms something in your life in some sort of way. That was my intention when I started recording. So thank you so much. I'm sending you so much love. Oh, so much love. So much love. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Signing off.